vacant agenda. All right, are we starting with the swearing in?
I think that would probably be the best start.
All right. Let's start.
Do some good swearing. No, is that right?
This is swearing in.
Oh,
Swearing at.
Okay, swearing in, not swearing at, okay. Very good.
All right. Let's see, why don't we do it? No,
We did over that last time.
yeah, all right, if that works, Matthew, come on
You
up,
need this or
please.
you have it?
No, I believe I've
No,
got.
that's just the contract.
That's the contract.
You need, oh,
Yes, I do need this, thank you.
And it's just.
you can't swear somebody in with their contract.
Okay, perfect.
Be a very long oath.
It would be a very, very long oath.
Matthew, pronounce your last name for me?
Plantier.
All right, ready?
Ready?
Ready? Edgar, you're
Yes,
recording,
stand up.
all right? Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Matthew Plantier, do
Aye.
solemnly swear
I, Matthew Plantier, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
and perform
and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as police officer
as police officer
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and regulations
agreeable to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and law
of the Constitution and law
of the state of New Hampshire.
of the state of New Hampshire.
This you do under the pains and penalties of perjury.
This you do under the pain and penalties of perjury.
All right, congratulations,
Thank
you're
you.
official.
This always makes me snippy.
Perfect. I'm guessing
This is
yeah.
for you three.
Alrighty, oh, wait, I have to.
Yes. Yes, please. Can do that.
All right.
Can I borrow your pen, please?
Matthew, when's the academy start?
So, next
Okay.
academy starts August 24th.
Yeah.
He is on the wait list.
Oh.
What?
Yes, it's already full up. So,
Huh. Well,
hopefully
you
I
he
guess
can
that's
still
good
get in.
news.
FTO time.
Yep, worst case, we'll do his FTO before he goes to the academy. But there's still a chance he can get in. I've already talked to the academy.
Good.
Possibility, so we'll wait and see.
Like someone drops out or whatever.
They have an entry PT test they have to pass.
Yep.
So typically there's people that fail that.
Director
But he is
Skipper
number
might
7
owe me
on
a
the wait list
favor too,
right now, so
Cool.
we'll wait and see.
So you go home and pump up and get ready for the,
I'll be doing PT at least twice a week while he's not with us.
okay.
Just running, so
Yeah, but that's
that's the hardest part.
yeah, it really is.
The rest is easy,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Welcome,
All right,
thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, good luck and all that good stuff.
Thank you very much.
All right, can the contract, do we need to do anything with this? Except look it over, I'm assuming.
Just sign it.
Yeah, just sign it, that's all.
I know we've talked about this previously, so. Today
It's a lot
being
less scary when he's not in the
Okay,
suit.
6th.
correct, yeah. 6,
Good, good.
alright.
Thank you, can I borrow your pen again because.
Here, I'll leave you that for the meeting.
Well, it's
I always
buried
bring it extra.
down there somewhere.
That's all right,
I know I have one.
no worries.
This one's all warmed up. Oh, you got it.
Yep,
Just for sure.
Is that real?
You have Aaron today.
right. Aaron, ready?
Sure.
Alright, why don't you come on down and let's talk, as they say.
Okay.
Welcome,
Thank you, thanks for having me again.
always
It's hard
good
to
to see
believe
you.
another quarter has gone by already, time
Yep.
flies. I don't know if there's anything specific, maybe I should start by asking if you have any questions for me. Otherwise, I'll just do an update and then see if you have questions at the end.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have any to begin with.
No, just everything's going, the renovation's still going along, which I'm assuming you're
Yeah,
gonna tell us
so
about.
yeah, let me go through. So first I thought I'd talk about visitation. We are open for the season and things are going well. Last year was a little slow because it rained every weekend, and this year we find our regular visitation is better. I wasn't able to get numbers on how many Canterbury residents are taking advantage of their free admission, but that is still a policy that we are upholding. So we encourage people to come and enjoy the place. when they can. Let's see. We've also had some new events this year. We had a couple of barn dances that proved to be really fun and successful. The first one had 70 some people, and the second one had 127 people.
Nice.
So,
I saw the pictures, it looked great.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that was really a nice addition. People have asked if we'll do more, and so we won't do them in the summer, partly because musicians are busy, but partly because it's hot. But maybe we'll think about getting some more of those booked in the fall, just because that was a fun way to gather.
Great turnout.
We also have a trail club that's going. The Movers and Shakers Trail Club is the last Saturday morning of every month. It's growing slowly. But again, it's just a time to encourage people to get out and, use the trails and use the village.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that hopefully will grow. Our construction projects are moving along. We are on track to have 5 buildings, exterior envelopes preserved this year. The meeting house is one of them. That one has been lifted, has its new sill, and has come back down, and now they're starting to put it all back together. So that was kind of a monumental project.
That thing
but
was
it's going
monumental as an understatement. That was amazing, every bit of it.
well. With all the jacks. So they had jacks, going up, and then jacks to push the timbers in, and it's really amazing to me, the 3D puzzle at that scale, that really everything has to come together and lock into place. So it's been pretty impressive. So that one's moving along well. The east house, they instead of starting at the bottom, start at the top. So the chimneys have been done and they're working on the roof. And then they'll move downstairs. They do have the materials. They had to get the timbers, so they'll be doing the structural work next. Out in that corner of the world, the ministry privy was also done. We took that inside over the winter, and they did that. The Fifields did that as part of the high school career exploration. That's now back on site. Still needs its doors and windows put back on, but it's back out there and painted and looking good. So those are the 3 that are sort of in progress, making good progress. The bee house is also in progress, but moving slowly, but we'll get to it soon. We're having an opening event for that building with a new exhibit, August 29th. So we still have some time to get that one together. And then the North Shop will be next. We had a successful fundraising event last week, and part of the money we were raising was to match a grant that we have to get the North Shop painted. So that the North Shop will also, with a new roof, well, not new, with a repaired roof and paint job, that one will be in pretty good shape for a while. So that's our construction plan for the season. We did finish the restroom update, the public restrooms in the Brethren's bathroom. Sometimes
We
it's
all
the little
looked at them
things.
as Simply Shaped.
Yeah, sometimes it's the
as part
little
of the
things that
tour.
make a big difference. But so that was another success too. I mean, it's still a basement bathroom. It's not exactly exciting, but it's better than it was. So, and I think the next project, and I think I've talked with you about this before, but maybe not. Anyway, we're working on reopening the cafe at the creamery.
Yeah.
And so that is moving more slowly than I would like. But we have the new floor in, and so now, like the meeting house, we're starting to put it back together. So we've had a first round of meetings with the electrician, the plumber, the appliance guy, and now we'll start getting the work done.
So will you be using the kitchen that's in the creamery, the one that when you come in it's off to the right and prepare food there like you used to?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and then serving it in the other side,
On the big
dining
long
room
tables.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have been in touch once with the code reviewer, and the electrician will reach out to him again. So we'll make sure that we get the permits we need for that. I don't expect any exterior change, except it's looking like maybe we have multiple large exhaust fans on the outside of the building, and we might get to remove one of those or make it smaller. So it won't get worse. It might or might not get better. We'll see. So I'll run through, once I know what's going to happen there, I'll make sure we get that through the HDC. But we still need to do a little exploratory work to see where, what happens there.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. I've said this a couple times, but I was really hoping to open in July, but it's July now and it's looking like maybe August, but we're still pushing for July. We'll see.
Okay.
It's a lot of contractor schedules that have to line up to get a little bit of work done.
Well, and permitting is never fast either, I'm sure.
We have the license stuff we need from the state in terms of the kitchen. We have the provisional license. So now they have to come inspect it and make
Right,
sure
right.
we built it the way we said we would. But
Okay.
in terms of we've got the layout approval, our septic, you know, we've provided all that information. So knock on wood, there won't be, unless there's a surprise.
Okay,
I think
good.
we'll be okay on that. So, and then I think just a couple other updates. I think again, people have probably heard by now that we are partnering with Sanborn Mills Farm to do our gardens, and that's great. They are going to have a farm cart there on site so that people can stop at the horse barn. It'll be under the horse barn patio. It'll be cash and Venmo only because they can't staff it. But they will have a produce cart there soon. Probably next week.
Aaron,
they said.
remind me of the gentleman's name who's spearheading that from Sanborn.
Ray is the farm manager.
Yeah,
Laura is the market gardener who's sort of the lead on our property. Ray Ramsey is there.
Ramsey, that's right. I met him and I needed to contact him and couldn't remember
Yeah,
his name.
so that's going well. And then we still have Brookside doing the cows and things like that, but the garden operation has changed. And I guess the other two more sort of updates that I think you might want to know about is that we are getting ready to do a timber harvest on the west side of Shaker Road. We have the driveway permit. It's just across, it's flagged, so if you drive up Shaker Road you can see it. It's at the Asby Road intersection. There's a current cut through the stone wall there. There's a whatever they call it, landing, landing strip, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
The landing where it's just inside the stone wall there. We will have to make some improvements to that. We're gonna have to widen that opening a little bit and improve the landing, but otherwise there shouldn't be any real improvements there. And we just prepared the notice of intent today. I just signed that, so he'll be submitting that to the assessor soon to get that ball rolling too. We're hoping again to get started in about a month,
Okay.
depending on the availability of the contractor. He's working on a job now, and whenever that one's done, I think we could be his next job. And then finally, Sawmill Pond Dam, and also Factory Pond Dike. I don't really have an update there. We haven't really made any decisions. We're still in the information gathering phase. We did meet recently with our easement holders, and specifically the archaeologist came back to do a site visit with us and really talk through the options. The state issued us a letter of an incident letter, I guess. I think the town got a copy of that. And that laid out 5 alternatives. We don't really believe that some of those are viable alternatives, so we're really down to 2 alternatives, which is do nothing, which is actually needs to be a controlled breach, or repair the dam. There are 1 or 2 people who think that the do nothing option is the best. Everybody else is on the side of repair the dam. So I suspect we'll go repair the dam way, but we have to do a little bit more. We'll probably have a couple of focus group or semi-public meetings to like talk it through and work that kind of thing out. But the easement reviewers are helping to support that we really ought to repair the dam. So I think that they have a little pull in the game.
They haven't
so
gotten
that
any
will help.
worse with these last couple of big rainstorms.
I haven't
that
been
we've had
out
come through.
since that, what was it, Wednesday night or whatever. I'm sure
Yeah.
Todd's been out, but that was a heck of a rainstorm.
Mm.
It's definitely it's worse than it was. I don't know when you were out there last, but it also appears to be semi-stable. Like it's really cut itself back to a point where it's
Okay.
relatively stable. We do have it closed, that part of the trail, and the poison ivy is thriving. So
Okay.
I think that will help keep people out of there just
So
in
it will.
case.
It'll keep me away.
Yeah. So again, we'll keep you posted on
Okay.
that. I think we'll go the repair the dam way. I think it's going to take us some time. The engineer that I'm working with says he estimates it'll be about a $250,000 job, which I don't have in pocket now. So we'll start down the environmental review and permitting process with some money that we have, but before we can actually do the work, it's going to take us a little bit of time. So that's what I have. Do you have any questions for me?
No,
Or
I don't
other
think so.
things
That
you'd
about
like to
covers
know?
it, cause I wanted to know about the buildings and the cafe and you answered both of those, so.
Yeah. It's things are happening. It's exciting.
Well, it was very exciting to see the support at Simply Shaker and that you got what you needed, for that night and for your projects.
Yeah, that was really, I
So
don't
that
know
was
if
good.
everybody heard about that. We had our Simply Shaker dinner, which is sort of an annual dinner that we do. It's a fundraiser. We call it Fund the Need fundraiser. And it was really phenomenal. We had set a budget goal of $40,000. But then we had somebody step up and issue a $50,000 challenge. So that, every dollar we raise up to 50,000, he'd match. And so then we set the goal of 50,000, which would be 100, and we hit $141,000 in that
Good for
event,
you.
which is really remarkable. And as it turns out, that's what we really needed. Like we sort of laid out what we were fundraising for, and each of those numbers had a range. And so we raised sort of the upper end of the range, which is really great because that's
Yeah.
what we really needed. So anyway, things are going well.
Good.
We are, trying to get some things done.
Great.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for the time.
All right.
Thank
Let me know,
Thanks for
you know where I
letting us
am
know.
if you have any questions or concerns for me.
Okay.
Very
Great.
good.
Thanks, Erin.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Aaron, take care.
Thanks, you too.
Alright, the energy committee is 6:30, so we've got a little time.
They are not
They're
coming.
not gonna be
Oh, they're
here.
not coming, okay, alright. Alright, so do we wanna sign
Yeah.
these things? Yeah. Alright, first item is accounts payable count, it looks like.
Yep. There's two accounts
Yay.
payables.
That's why, okay, cause this
Yep.
one is
One.
awfully small.
Yeah.
Alright, so the first one,
The next one.
Love being
Yeah.
first.
First accounts payable manifest is the amount of $786.02.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I always laugh when it comes out to little things like that.
The 2 cents, yeah.
I've
Oh,
got
yeah,
one
this one's-
account, one checking account that, the interest is like 11 cents.
Yeah,
It's like every month, it's like, really? Can you just keep it or?
That has a school payment in there.
I figured it had to be in there somewhere.
Excuse me. I swallowed a bug down on Creamery Road and,
Still with you?
yes,
Alright, second one is a little larger, $582,315.31.
alrighty. So moved.
Second, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And as Ken mentioned, you'll see a school payment in there.
I really appreciate, Cal, when you do the minutes and it says when there's like really big ones like that, this is because it includes the, cause when I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, it's good to know. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, next item is a payroll manifest in the amount of $62,374.51.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, next is, it looks like another payroll manifest in the amount of $56,573.34.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have two this time like that just because of the month?
Yeah.
The way the days fell? Thanks.
Thank you. Alright, next item is 2 appointment slips for the Ag Commission. And it contains an email from Joe McCulloch, who gives justification for us appointing Jesse Scanlon as a full-time commission member. Jesse was raised in Canterbury with an active farming family. Her mom Naomi served as the chair of the Ag Commission in 2012. Jesse works for the town and understands the intricacies of board communications. Ben Davis is up for appointment, I believe, as an alternate,
Mhm.
if I remember, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, alternate. Ben Ben is a Canterburyan whose family has been immersed in agriculture for generations. He followed in his grandfather Wayne Mann's footsteps, served as chair of the Ag Commission briefly. He moved out of town but has now returned to town and is offered to serve on the committee as an alternate. So I think both these candidates are well qualified. And Ken, we don't need a motion, just
No.
signatures.
No.
Yeah. Alright,
How many people are on the Ag Commission now?
I should know this.
Four plus an alternate. Well, this Mark is still on, right?
Is he still
Yeah.
on that?
Yes,
Oh,
Marcus,
he's,
I believe Mark was stepping down as chair, but
but
remaining
he's
as a
still
member.
on.
Yeah,
Cause I just didn't know what the shuffling of,
So, I'm the alternate, maybe?
it's like, is Katie on it?
I think Katie was in question,
Well, that was-
Nicole was a no.
Yeah.
They were both alternates,
And
so,
then Windswept stepped off.
right,
correct,
yes,
Right.
yeah,
Corinne.
yeah, I believe right, that's correct.
But they both did.
both of the pull-ins, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, oh, that's
what-
right, Craig was on there too.
I think Jill was gonna check in with Katie to see if she still wanted to be an alternate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, next is two liquor permits. Both are from Brookford Farm. The first one is for an event called Christmas with the Cows, November 28th through December the 13th, from 10 AM to 5 PM each day.
It's actually Cathedral Ledge Distillery,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
they're both for events at Brookford Farm.
Yep. Second one is actually I should have started there, Sunflower Soiree. Also Cathedral Ledge Distillery. The event is at Brookford Farm, August the 8th through August the 16th of this year from 10 AM until 7 PM. Once again, just sign.
Yeah, you don't, yeah, you can just sign it.
Yeah, does anybody have any?
No, I
Questions,
guess the only
comments?
question was, so we just have to back up or let the liquor commission know that we say it's okay, correct? But we don't do anything about saying
That's,
they can have samples or not
that's
samples
correct.
or.
This
That's
is
all through
just,
them.
this is just that you're acknowledging that they've applied for a license from the liquor commission and that's all
Okay.
this is, yeah.
Alright, and it looks like we just need one signature on this?
Believe so.
Yeah, it looks that way. So is it you or me?
You.
Okay. I guess that answers that question.
Ken says,
Yeah. Alright. That's one. Alright. There you go, sir. Alright, I think we're through everything. That brings us to previous minutes approval. Why don't we start with the June 15th, 2026 public meeting?
The only suggestion that I should really mention is that on line 117, I wrote Peter Mail,
Mine,
mine.
Mile,
Thank you, sorry. It's actually Russ.
Russ.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, Russ. I don't know where Peter came from then,
It happens.
out of the blue, so
Happens
that's
to
the,
the best of us.
It's the only one.
Okay,
Beth, you did ask about the slide-in water tank. I went back and watched the video and John didn't talk about it.
Oh, okay, that
Or,
must have
like-
been at some other meeting that we talked about when it
Yeah.
was, might be delivered, okay.
Yes. So that's it.
okay, so I'll
Thank
make a
you.
motion to approve them as amended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, June 24th, 2026 is the next set of minutes for approval, that's a public meeting as well.
The only thing is basically grammatical. I forgot to put in the section. I left the placeholder in for the previous discussions. So.
Okay, so I would make a motion that we approve them.
With that
As is.
section number
Yeah, with that, right,
added, yeah, I will second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, I think that brings us, Ken, to.
That might be our most minimalist bunch of minutes ever.
Yeah, exactly, which is good,
Good job, good job.
yep. School legislation update.
Yes.
That was a boatload to read, holy moly.
Try living with it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's a good point, you probably.
no, thank
gotta-
you, I will let you do that. What do we need to know or do about it, or just,
Ken's gonna tell us, bro.
alright,
I think the only thing is, read
Yeah.
the proposed legislation, and the governor's getting ready to sign some bills. I think that unless you have a real strong objection to any of the bills at this point, the governor's gonna sign something.
Yeah.
So Calvin, any suggestions from your end, or?
No, I mean, a lot of that, the intention was to kind of bring light as to what our reps are doing for the
Mhm.
schools in
Yeah.
terms of cost and what they are or aren't doing to help
Yes.
out.
Yes.
So I think that's the goal of the school board for that, is just to try to stay on top of
Yeah.
what's going on and
Yeah.
where we lie in that
Yeah.
process.
Okay.
I had only one question, but it doesn't make any difference as to whether I support it or not. I can't find the email, it was the very first one, it seemed. I couldn't understand the mix between like behavioral issues and the school issue that they were talking about in the first one. That whole first section didn't make sense to me, but I'm just gonna go back and read it again. The rest of it seemed fine.
Okay. Alright, dead tree on Morrow Road.
Yes, we got a call last week, from a resident on Morrill Road. In front of number 245 Morrill Road, it's a big oak tree. It's, I don't know, 3 feet, 2.5 feet, across at the bottom. It's right on the stone wall. It's dead. It's leaning towards the people's house. They have a big front lawn there.
Gotcha.
They wanted the town to come and take it down. I went out and met with the owners. They had contacted John, and John said that the town typically doesn't cut trees like that. They were concerned because they have grandchildren that play on the lawn, so on and so forth. When they're mowing the lawn, they had a big tree come down a little while ago for no reason at all. There was no root ball to it, and it just came down. And the lady was out mowing her lawn when it did. It didn't come close to her, but it was a kind of a wake up call.
Sure.
So they wanted to know if the town would do it. I went out and looked at it. I did look in the hard road to travel, and about this particular incident. And there are some things in here that I think you might wanna consider. Typically, the town doesn't do this, but we have in past, for specific reasons. And I'll just quote from the hard road to travel, a couple of things that I highlighted. It says, although as we have seen, municipalities usually do not own trees growing along the edges of public highways. It's no longer prudent for municipal officials to simply let nature take its course or to otherwise fail to actively manage the condition of such trees, because municipalities have the duty to maintain municipal highways, RSA 231:3. And then it goes on a little while later, and it says municipal highway officials themselves should not heavily weigh the issue of a butter liability for hazards originating within the highway right of way. Instead, if there's a sidewalk hazard or a dangerous tree within the right of way, assume it is the town's responsibility to take care of it. Even if it turned out a landowner were held to owe a duty to travelers, this fact wouldn't relieve the town of its own duty of care under RSA 231:92. And RSA 231:92 says, municipality shall not be held liable for damages in an action to recover for personal injury or property damage arising out of its construction, maintenance, or repair of public highways and sidewalks constructed thereupon, unless such injury or damage was caused by an insufficiency as defined by RSA 231:90 and municipality had actual notice or knowledge of such insufficiency by means other than a written notice pursuant to RSA 231:90. So basically, the hard road to travel, the town owns the right of way, it doesn't own the property. The liability falls on the property owner. However, as I just read in the hard road to travel, just because that may be so, it does not absolve the town of liability, particularly as it refers to 231:92, which talks about liability, and if the town knows about a dangerous situation or something, then the town could be liable if there was damages, personal injury.
I guess I get confused when if the tree is technically on their property and it's going to fall into their property, why would the town be liable? I mean, I can almost see more if the tree was on their property leaning the other way and it fell and took down town wires. Well, the town
Yeah,
fix it, but you'd think they'd be liable to us
the
for that.
utility isn't, the utility lines aren't so much as an issue.
Or blocking the road.
Which is a potential cost for repairs. But if the tree were to fall on a car driving by or
Right,
somebody
right.
walking on the road, something like that.
But this
in
tree's going the other
In
way.
this case, the tree is leaning towards the front of the, if it actually fell over, I don't know it's tall enough to actually hit their house, it may come close. But again, if there's property damage, if they're out there mowing the lawn, if somebody's out there in the front yard and the thing falls over, potentially the town could be liable, according to this RSA,
Because it's in the,
because it's in the
Right-of-way.
right of way.
So we have to do tree service.
The residents right near the Concord town line, and the resident said to me, geez, I called the city of Concord, if I see a tree further down the road, they come right out with their crew, and I said, well, that's because they have a crew.
Right.
The town doesn't have them.
I mean, for
So
us,
we have to hire a
Yeah.
subcontractor to do
Yeah.
it, so.
Yeah, cause we can't let our road crew cut a tree like that, there's too much
Oh,
liability.
no,
They're
no,
not trained to do that.
no,
Exactly.
but the hard thing is, of course, think of the properties, everybody's got a tree. That's in a right of way that's probably leaning towards their, I mean, most people don't complain about it, but, and this person, now that we know, that's another step, but I don't know.
I mean, a tree company could say, hey, we can prune the problem branches, we don't see this trunk going anywhere potentially. Or
Could, they
take the whole
could
tree.
come down, they could take down a bunch of the dead limbs and leave the trunk.
Wildlife,
it seems to me when I was, I think my first or second year on the select board, we had a similar situation with some homeowners.
We had there it is,
Excuse
still
me.
there, as far as I know, down on Intervale Road, a big dead pine tree.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's not threatening anybody's
Yeah.
house or property. It's at the corner of their driveway, and it's a dead pine with very few limbs on it. And it's really not, if it fell, it would probably be a piece off the top or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really a different circumstance
Yeah.
myself.
Okay.
This one has a leader off of it, right over their lawn that's probably this big.
Yeah.
And it's
Hmm.
dead. I'm surprised it's still there.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know how I can do this, but I think I agree with both of you.
Yeah.
I think that Calvin is correct, I think we should get prices at least, so we know where we are.
Can we, is it copacetic to do it half and half?
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, was, you know, would he be willing to
Yep.
perhaps meet us halfway?
Sure,
Or, you know, in exchange for, you know, taking the wood for, you know, I don't know if he burns wood or not, but, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't
There
the
are-
town, or the conservation commission do that with a couple pine trees?
we, at the Martins,
Yeah.
right, there
Yes,
was a
you
bunch
are
of big
correct.
pine trees
Yeah,
right on the line between the conservation area and the
Yeah.
Martins. And they were gonna be taking some trees anyway, so we split the cost of the Martins on 2 or 3 of the trees that they felt were a problem.
yeah,
So long, yeah, so long as the guys were there,
yeah, right,
that makes sense.
yeah. But I also agree with Beth that, you know, we have to be careful about a potential precedent
Right.
for the future, so.
Yeah.
You know, in special circumstances, I mean, this may be
Well,
one.
as you said, leaning trees, you know, they lean in the
Yeah.
middle, it's scenic
Mhm.
until they fall.
Exactly,
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think getting a price would be.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
the
Alright.
and then
first.
we'll go from there.
Do we have, people that we rely, I mean, a variety of peoples that we ask about tree work?
We can get a couple different prices.
Okay,
There's
thank you.
only one Lagoon and Tree Fellows are all right here in town.
Yeah, and Bartlett or
Bartlett,
whoever, yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I don't want anybody to, you know, point the finger and say we're
Yep.
always giving it to one person.
Nope,
So,
nope, we can get some.
and
get some
tree
prices.
fellows have come out and done quoting at my house too, I know
Yeah.
they did really, good job.
alright, temporary camper permit.
Yes. I had a recall, last week from a gentleman that bought a piece of property up on 445 Shaker Road, map 212, lot 009. He has a building permit, he has a septic design, he has a driveway permit. He's putting in his foundation, well, he's waiting for the foundation, soil's done. He and his wife are currently living in a camper in an adjoining town at a campground. He would like to move the camper over to his property. So when he starts to build his house, when the foundation's in. He sent me an email today and he said, my goal would be to have the foundation, well, and septic installed by middle August. I would then like to move my camper up to 445 Shaker Road towards the end of August and live on site until the house is completed. At this point, I believe the house would be completed by the end of March with town inspections early April 2027. We didn't, he asked me for a form, an application or something, we didn't have one, so I put one together. So I guess the first part would be, if you guys wanna look at this form and see if that's okay. And if you do, then we will use that, we can transfer the information over to that, and then you can decide on whether you wanna let him move his camper. This is the piece of land right here,
I saw this
it's
one.
Oh, you did, okay.
it's on the corner of Wyven and Shaker Road.
Yep.
The name we were
Okay.
trying to think of this morning, Alfred Nash.
Yeah,
That's it.
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, it popped into my head, like,
Yep, I'm familiar with that parcel.
and it's allowable
There's a-
anyway.
There's
have
a shed on the property right now.
Yep.
He has a small shed that he's storing his
Yep,
things in, so.
yeah.
And this is, and our zoning does allow for the selectmen to approve it,
Right,
if you so choose. We've used it before in cases where people's houses have had fires or some kind of major reconstruction renovation project or something like that. This is when he's building a new house and.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I thought that was allowed, you know, I remember reading that, you know, if you,
The
while you're
zoning does
building,
allow it
that's
to
how
do that.
zoning allows during new construction to
Yep.
have a
Yeah.
camper on site
Yep.
for, it's like a
Yeah.
year, correct?
Yes, a year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Where's
and
it
I-
hook up to the septic?
Yep, that's his plan, that's why he's gonna wait until the foundation's done and the septic is in, and then he would hook the camper into the septic.
That would be
Okay.
my only concern would be
Yeah.
sanitation, but
Yeah.
other than that.
And you can see on that where I have any connections available,
Yep,
and you can check off what connections are available, so.
yeah. Yeah, I understand why he wants to be there, so
And if it exceeds his date window, say, building backups, do we just reapprove it, or do
Yep,
we,
and
okay,
if it goes more than a year, then he has to come back. So we'll record this, and
Yeah.
then put a notice in our calendar that, what I would do is give it to the building inspector, so he would put a notice in his calendar that would remind him in a year from when you guys say yes, then,
He'll go check.
he would check on it.
yeah, it seems like a reasonable ask.
That does
Right.
seem,
Yeah.
Okay.
All
sounds
right,
good.
Alright, so I will, transfer his information to this, and then you guys can sign this.
sounds good. Yep,
And put that form in our new form folder.
Correct, correct, yep.
all right, next is library, yep.
And I'll have that for you guys to sign next time around.
Okay.
I'll just let them know
Yeah,
it's okay, and
yeah.
I'll just have them,
Sounds good.
have you guys
Yeah,
sign it next
okay.
time. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Can we, is it something that he needs sooner? Can we just come in and sign as we go by?
If you want to, sure,
Okay,
Yeah, but he was saying August, he thought, right?
right,
Yeah,
right,
so-
Alright.
yeah.
we can wait.
Okay, so library HVAC, so. I think as you guys know, I think I sent you all the information on, and I think Scott and I met with, Rachel last week. They had some, estimates for, to put in basically, heat pumps, mini splits to
Mhm.
replace their furnaces. So they have two furnaces that are no longer usable. That leaves one furnace, slash air conditioning unit for the building. The cost, the company that they got several bids, the one they wanna look at, they wanna go with, is the cost would be $64,028. Rachel contacted Unitil to see if there was any, grant, financing available. There is, they do on-bill, they would do what's on-bill financing, the same as we did with the lighting project. One of the things that we did talk about was we have $26,000 in our building maintenance reserve fund. And we also have $5,000 in the community power cap reserve fund. And didn't know if you guys wanted to use that to reduce the cost of the on-bill financing or not. There is a kind of a question about whether you could use the community power
Right.
cap reserve account money at all. We'd have to look at the cap reserve, the language, and see if that could be used for that. But you could use the building maintenance cap reserve. I sent an email to the attorney to see how you would go about getting that money. Whether it'd have to be a special town meeting or some other way, and he said the best way would be to work with DRA, because you do have the authority to appropriate emergency funds if needed. So we contacted DRA today, left messages, and we're waiting to hear back. But Unitil will fund the program, and it's on-bill financing, so it would increase the monthly bills, but it would be 0% interest to do it, so.
so is the entire burden on the town, or does the trust fund from the library kick in?
They have, Scott, what did she say, they have $15,000?
Yeah, something like that.
$15,000.
So you could potentially have 40 grand to put on this and only have to finance 25 and some change.
Potentially, right,
Correct.
right.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't, it seems like a perfect place to use some of the money from the community power if we can. I'm not sure when we're ever going to generate more of that, the way things are going, and I mean, that's the purpose of
It's
it.
an energy efficiency upgrade.
And And it would be a good thing to be able to say, you know, this is what we used to.
Probably have to run the language by DRA, and the attorneys to make sure that that's okay to use that one.
And I don't know if, do we need to run it by community power, the committee, or is that just, we're agents to expend that?
You guys are agents to expend.
It seems like it's within the, I mean, if, you know, the language will tell us whether it's doable or not.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily clean it out, but
Was there
Yeah,
a
that's-
cost for the furnaces, just replacing the furnaces? That can't be 60 grand.
Um,
I mean, that's probably in your 30 range, 20 to 30, depending on the furnace and the efficiency.
Aren't they going with, mini splits?
they're going with mini splits.
so just a run.
All the three companies they had come in and look at this, what they had, all three of them felt that the existing HVAC system, because of the ductwork and the way it was installed, is not a real viable solution, I guess they call it. Could they replace the two furnaces? Most likely, yeah, with in kind, most likely, something that would work.
Well, it just seems like the growing trend is, for lack of better terms, we half-assed all the infrastructure in these buildings 20 years ago, and now it's coming back to bite us in every single building we built.
Pretty
You
much.
know, and we can't. Is the affordable stopgap replacing the furnaces? Does that buy us 10 years? Does that buy us 15 years? What's the cheaper option? I understand this. You know, you want the splits or you want something more, but we've also got other buildings that are the same need, if not worse.
Well, that's an excellent question. Did they ever get a price for just replacing the two furnaces? It'd be interesting to see.
Let's see, one of the companies gave them a heat pump option and propane furnace option. I guess, let me see if I can find.
20. I would assume they used all big companies that are more expensive, but probably carry a longer warranty.
Yeah.
Except most of that equipment's a factory warranty.
You mean the equipment that's there now?
No, I mean like whatever equipment goes in is probably gonna carry like the Mitsubishi or.
Oh, sure.
You know, it's not gonna be warranted by X company. It'll
Right,
all
it would be
go through the-
warranted by the manufacturer,
Right.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry, there were several attachments here, I'm trying to find.
A lot of people are going to the mini splits just because the heat pump technology is there for heating, more
Mm-hmm.
sustainable heating
Yeah.
versus HVAC systems.
Personally, I like mine better for cooling, for air conditioning and
Yeah.
dehumidifying than for heating.
Yeah.
It's a lot more comfortable.
We do
To
as
me, it
well.
works a lot better.
Agreed.
I just ever being so cautious of spending money is, you know, if we could do it for a third of the price,
Mm.
we pay for cash, not financing.
But the on-bill financing it was a long term, wasn't it? It was like 10 years?
10.
I believe that's
Yeah.
correct.
I think it would be closer to 20.
No?
Oh,
They do it based on the amount that's financed, so that's the calculation of funds. I'm sorry.
so it's
I don't-
hard, you know, it's like
I
we're
don't
out the
see-
money, but not all in one clump.
Well, but the other thing too is you gotta run the longevity of a heat pump versus a furnace. What's
I
gonna,
can't
what's gonna be
speak to that.
easier when the.
I don't know that I got
I don't know.
a cost, I don't know that they provided a cost option for just repairing the furnaces.
I would just be curious, a furnace replacement, a heat pump replacement, what that would cost with the existing infrastructure. But if you came back and said, hey, we put these, these heating and cooling units in here with the heads in this location, and it makes the library 80% more efficient. Okay,
Well,
maybe I can fathom the.
Yeah, but I guess I'm thinking that a mini split is more efficient, which I
Than a
think
furnace?
is why we put that in here.
Unless you're heating and it's really cold.
Correct.
You know, if you
Right.
hit January, February and it's
Right.
10 degrees outside, they're working.
Yeah, you're right, you're absolutely right. I mean, as we all know from sitting here all these evenings, there were a few where we had to run the furnace to
Yeah.
supplement.
Plus, there's different maintenance on them.
Yeah, But I guess what's the life of that unit compared to a furnace?
Probably 7 to 10, probably the same as a furnace, depending how it's installed, weather exposure,
Yeah,
what you
Well,
do
yeah,
for your
it
maintenance
actually
on the
isn't
actual
that.
unit,
Right,
you know, like
yeah.
whether you're keeping them clean and.
Yeah, I think there was one that was installed in the historical
right,
portion of the library 20 years ago when they renovated it. And we just had to replace it last year, the year before.
So that's the
That's a
one that's
pretty
still
good run.
running.
And that was the first generation.
Yeah.
Obviously there's some changes, upgrades and in technical of it.
yeah.
I mean, the library needs heating and cooling.
Yes,
Hmm,
yeah,
no doubt.
Would it be possible just to get them to give us a number for what it would cost to just replace the
yeah,
furnaces?
absolutely, absolutely.
Just because we've got a
Good
lot
to
of
know,
building
yeah.
maintenance issues this year.
Yeah. I guess one thing to think about is though, as these come up, do we kick the can down the road for another 10 years, or do we try to, do a.
But it's still a good, again, it's not all the money out of pocket at once with the on-bill financing, which is a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
I'm
0%.
I'm surprised that they do it,
Right.
because it can't, what are they making on it, still.
So I just ran it, I didn't use the 15,000 that they were talking about. I just used the 64 minus the 20, I took 20 from the cap reserve, building maintenance, and then 5 from the community power.
Yeah.
So it leaves you with $39,028. I did that by 20 years and then divided it by 12 months,
Mhm.
which gives you a monthly cost. It's $162 a month, which is I looked at their cost for gas, propane, and this is actually cheaper than it would cost to heat with propane
Yeah.
to put these in. So
And that's for the whole, but that doesn't include, so it's 162 a month to cover the cost of the units, but not not the power that they use,
that's
correct?
correct, that's not the cost of the power that they're using, but that's just the
Yeah.
cost of
The units.
So if you looked at it from I guess the perspective of how much energy, how much more would their electric bill go up because now you're using electricity instead of propane,
Mhm.
and the additional $162, it's difficult. I'm not sure, I'd have to really dig into some numbers to see where the break even is.
Can we use any of the unexpended funds for the dump?
No.
Nothing.
It's a totally different warrant article.
Right.
The only thing you could do if if we didn't have a building maintenance cap reserve, we didn't have any money,
Mhm.
we could use the unreserved fund balance, a portion thereof, depending on, and again, this is all dependent on what DRA says too. There's a statute that talks about selectmen being able to expend emergency funds, so.
So that 162 could potentially be lower if we get the 15 from the trust fund.
Correct.
So you'd be looking at $110, we could say $120.
Could be, right,
Is there an early payoff penalty?
no.
I don't think they let
They
you.
don't let you pay early payoff, they
Oh.
don't let you do it.
That's my only hesitation with these on billing, is now you've got 10 or 15 projects and now you're going, oh, we're on bill for this and that and this and the next thing, and then the power goes through the roof, cause that's my only hiccup to that sort of funding, as opposed to just
It
paying
locks,
for it.
it locks you into a payment for a extended period.
Yeah.
But if the town decide to put more solar panels in, it's based on how much energy,
Yeah,
I mean, their regular electric bill might be $50 a month instead of $250. And because we have more solar panels or a wind turbine or something like that, you're still gonna be paying that $162 a month
right,
until the loan is paid off.
right, so you're just adding an additional, we'll call it 15 grand in the library budget a year to pay this off.
And they've said for sure that they can click in 15?
That is what,
That was the impression.
that was,
Okay.
that was what
Yeah.
both her and Rick
Rick.
Rockford from the
Yeah.
Okay.
trustees said that they had $15,000 available to
Okay.
take towards the project.
Hmm.
But I will get a cost for the replacement of just the gas furnaces, see if they, cause it does say here that one of the vendors did give them a cost for replacing the furnaces.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I guess my only concern is the clock is ticking.
Right. We
So,
have to wait for DRA.
right, maybe as we get information, it can be disseminated to us.
Absolutely.
And then even if we needed to call a special meeting, you know, we could certainly
Right.
notice that and do that.
Yeah.
I wanna make sure that they're not sitting here in November
Right.
freezing.
Yeah.
because-
Right.
And
Waiting for the contractor to come
that'd
in.
be
Exactly.
bad. Sweaters,
waiting for
$15,000
parts.
worth of
Yeah.
sweaters. What is DRA actually weighing in on?
The ability to expend the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From the.
The attorney said, work with your rep from Department of Revenue Administration on the emergency expenditure.
Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay,
Alright, anything further on that?
I don't think so, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Ken.
Yep.
Alright, on to old business. Septic, joint use agreement.
yes. Do you want to do some of these,
The other ones first.
a couple of the other ones
Yep,
first?
absolutely.
Because they're short and we can get those.
I'm looking at the small claims court and I think that's gonna be a quick one, so
That's a very quick one.
go right ahead.
Yay,
We got our money.
Yep.
there we go. It only took you how many hours of sitting in the courtroom?
Right, that's what I was
Thank
thinking.
you, Ken.
All the back part.
Right.
Alright, how about solid waste reimbursement update? That probably,
Hmm,
solid waste reimbursement, I'm thinking maybe the solid waste, the packer?
Oh, no, this is the, okay, so
Oh, no,
this
there's
is
Pepper.
this is the surcharge
Oh,
that the
yeah,
state
yeah, yeah,
charges
right,
us,
that
Oh,
we get
yeah, yeah.
reimbursed for.
$3.50 a
a
ton
ton.
for, and the portal didn't open until July 1st.
Yep.
So on July 1st, I started plugging numbers in, and it took me over an hour
Oh my gosh,
to get $360.
it's discouraging.
And part of that is even ours, because we have to reverse Shaver, because part of it was theirs because they paid.
So you have to
The
go through all
state-
this to,
the
to invoice them to get the,
We have to invoice the state, and we have to send separate invoices, and unfortunately, Wind Waste, apparently their software program has a addition or multiplication mistake.
oh jeez.
Oh, my
So their numbers were off by 5 cents on one invoice, 3 cents on another, and 6 cents on another. And so when I plugged in the numbers for the tons and how much we were billed, the state wouldn't accept it because the math
Didn't agree.
didn't work.
Yeah.
So I had to go back, and then we have to notify Wind Waste that they can't add or multiply. They need to go back to school.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
pardon me.
So,
Wow.
Oh, for
and you have to
goodness sakes.
put the invoices in separately. And they only allow you to do it once a quarter, so you have to put in 3 invoices. The invoice, the check, for proof that you paid it,
Yeah.
and then all the other information.
Wow.
So,
Are they making it so difficult so they're
I'm
hoping
just
towns
telling, I'm
will
just
say,
telling you this because
forget it?
this, this is killing me.
I'll bet it
This
is.
is killing me.
Yep.
The state, in all their infinite wisdom, has come up with another
Right.
program to waste municipal employees' time.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Sorry for the editorial.
We don't have anybody with a couple extra hours on their time
Right.
sheet that they could sit there and enter things?
I said, why couldn't they just give the municipal haulers an easy pass, and when they go
That's
into the wind waste, then it doesn't, they don't have to pay the surcharge, they don't even bill the town, it's just done, they don't have to worry about it.
Because that's thinking,
Right.
that'd be.
But see,
Because
you only-
it would probably do away with 3 positions at the state, at the
Yeah.
DES.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ken.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
No,
all right.
I just had
I
to-
mean,
I
I feel
just had to
bad
tell
that
you
you had
guys.
to do that. That's just nutsy.
Yep,
Uh, Packer truck update,
yep,
the VSD is working,
it was quiet when I went, Yeah.
they, when it's busy, they run it, and when it's not, they shut it off.
Because it is a pretty annoying noise.
It is,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fan runs and it's noisy.
yeah, the truck's not idling.
But
so.
it is, the truck is not idling, everything's working. It actually works a little faster than when the truck is idling, the hydraulics.
That's great.
It was, kind of a little adventure when we ran it the first time.
Yeah,
We
that was good.
had a little, mishap with a fitting and,
Yeah, I'm down there with the guy, he's got his
Well,
flashlight under there and he's yelling, kill him, kill him, kill him.
Uh-huh.
Packer doesn't have to be undercoated for a couple of years.
I'll bet.
Nice and greasy.
Yeah, when those go, it's usually pretty spectacular.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was fun.
And then I did have something that's not on there, and this is a thank you letter from CASA for
Oh.
the,
Oh,
this is the court appointed
Yeah.
advocates. So we got a very nice thank you letter for our donation of $2,500.
Great.
So,
I'll read that and.
um, they appreciate our assistance.
Oh, and
I don't know.
can I piggyback on that as far as thank you notes?
Sure.
Is that okay for, if we would like to, do a couple of thank you notes? I think we should really send a thank you note to the pyrotechnic guys. I thought the fireworks were, did you go see them?
No, no.
They were wonderful. I thought they were particularly good.
Good.
And the finale was beautiful, it was very patriotic, red, white, and blue. I don't know if they did or didn't go the extra mile to try and make things go a little taller, but there were only a couple of volleys that were under the tree line. I don't know what, they must have been fun from up at the
I
school.
don't go up to the school.
No,
Hmm.
I wouldn't go up to the school either.
I think they always do a great job.
So if we could send them, because I know they also did it because somebody was whining, and
Hey, you know, sometimes you gotta whine.
and they were well worth whining for.
No, there's
Because
a
they
lot of
were
people
very
that
good,
this
so
year.
I would say if we could send them a thank you note, that would be great.
Sounds good.
I also ran into Kin Scammon up at, from Harmony Lane South or whatever
Yep.
that is. And asked her how the project was and if they'd finally paid it off, and she said, yes, other than the cost, everyone seems happy with the results. We do still hope to get some reimbursement from one more grant, but everyone is paid and the project is working great.
Good.
The funds will be used to reimburse landowners and hopefully start a long-term maintenance and replacement fund. State will continue to evaluate the results for a total of 5 years. The first year evaluation in draft form shows no significant concerns. And as she mentioned, the water levels have stabilized and they have a nesting loon pair for the
Wow.
first time in many a year. So they made a final construction payment a little over a year ago to Merrill Construction. She was saying that they were very patient and understanding of the government grant situation, and they waited for the cash. So I didn't know, I mean, it's not our job, it's, you know, because it's a whole private thing, but I didn't know if it'd be worth it just to send a letter to the company to say, thanks for being patient with our residents, and they really appreciate the work that you did. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but I thought I'd bring it up because, they didn't have to be patient and nice
Right,
about it.
right, well, it's certainly good to know and good to publicize. It's
Yeah,
just good.
that's, FL Merrill Construction
Yeah,
in Loudon.
106.
Yeah, Veterans Drive in Loudon.
Yeah,
So, I don't know what you think about that when the, fireworks guy is an easy one, but I don't know if you wanna make a precedent since this is a private
yeah,
gig.
I think for me, a public thank you is great. I think we should probably leave it at that.
Okay. Public thank you to, FL Merrill Construction Inc.
There
How's
you
that? For who's ever watching. Thank you.
Can I piggyback off of Beth sort of, cause I don't know if it's old or new business, but I
Go ahead.
Can. Jonas reached out to me last week from Sugar Forest. Sort of with a complaint, but just to sort of tell us that there's a resident barricading the road, preventing another resident from actively getting to their property. So I told him essentially it's a gray area for the town, but I want you all to be aware that that was reached out and conveyed to me. And he also
Yeah.
brought up the roads. And I briefly said to Ken, you know, maybe we as a board or as a town, we could reach out to try to find some biannual, triannual agreement where if they buy material, we as the town, they can hire the town to come grade the roads. He, you know, Ken brought up the fact that liability, we'd have to have some sort of clause or contract to say, well, we're not liable for any X, Y, and Z, but maybe we sort of, the olive branch will help you out the best we can. You are residents, you do pay taxes. We can't change the roads. Obviously, the property lines are what they are, but maybe there's sort of, we can open the door to a conversation for something. Maybe not all the roads, but just where we can get machinery, but just,
Yeah, that, I mean, that's the other issue, I think I've been on every road in Sherwood, and some of them are just, they're really tough, you know.
it's tractor work, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
grader work.
Right.
But maybe there's something, the main road's coming in, maybe if, I don't know, just trying to,
Yeah.
if it works, we can try it, if not, we can at least have a
But
conversation.
how does that, how can we, I mean, again, that's the whole private community versus
Well,
town,
You have a contract with the
maintenance
town
and-
saying we're hiring the town road crew for 3 days, we're paying for the material and whatever the rate is, so the commission pays for it. We waive our liability and we say we're not maintaining the road, you're hiring us, just as you would hire a private contractor.
I'd wanna do a lot of checking to see what that
And I'm sure the
holds us to in
lawyers,
the future, or any other private roads in town.
well, I mean, I think it's different, I'm not calling the town saying, hey, come do Barnett for just me, but when there's 100 homes in there.
You're not, but
No, but
other people
but
might,
I think the
if they hear,
precedent is different, it's a different situation there, you know, I don't know,
Mhm.
case by case, it just seems like this is gonna be the forever, I don't call it, you know, issue, but this one always comes up, and maybe if we make a step to try to, we can't do it every year, maybe we can do it every 3 years, you know, maybe we can help you get there, like, it just seems that's always gonna be the constant
I think it's worth,
issue.
I think it's worth looking at, but I would have a lot of,
Yeah, and I don't know the ins and outs of it,
Yeah.
but, you know, I said Jonas is obviously the president down there, and I said, well, we can do
I
that.
thought he wasn't, I thought he was
He's
gone.
back. He's
Oh.
back. But they're doing
Okay.
they're doing it right now, you know, they're in a good direction, and it just feels like it would be if there were to be a conversation, now would be a good time to have it with the state that they're in. You know, it's probably the most organized they've been in a long time and joined, you know, so I think you got the potential to make something happen.
Well, maybe it's time to touch base again with their association, or have the association come in, or to have it be a slightly more formal
Yeah, we
conversation,
could.
or, I don't know, it makes me leery, but I'm not willing to just say no, because they, as you're right, they're neighbors and they've got problems there, but what happened to their road crew? Gone?
I didn't get into the weeds about that one.
Well,
I
that was
don't-
the point, they
Yeah.
wanted to do their own roads, so they had a big fanfare about having somebody from the community who stepped up and was going to do them, which I'm guessing
My,
didn't
my
happen.
speculation would be if you're the one person trying to take responsibility for it and you don't appease everybody, it probably becomes a very ungrateful job
Mhm.
quickly. You know, and when you're limited with resources, machinery, expertise, it makes it very difficult as well. You know, and like I said, maybe it's not even possible, maybe the price would be too high and they just continue maintaining it privately, but if you're only talking certain portions of certain roads that are high traffic, obviously you can't hit everything with the grader. I mean, there's parts of town the grader can't even hit here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a conversation potentially worth having. Maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't, but at least we're hearing them out and
Yeah.
not throwing them in the back burner.
And more concerning to me is who's organizing the neighbors so that somebody can get to their property.
Let me check to see what the possibility of us basically hiring out to do a private road.
Mhm.
I mean, it almost seems like we have kind of enough problems taking care of the roads that we have, so.
And that is,
Well, we're still down a full timer.
Mhm.
And you know, since we began our meeting tonight with a citizen complaint about a road,
Mhm.
that it might be a tough sell.
But as you say, worth at least thinking about and not
Never
just
hurts to
saying
talk.
no.
we can check it.
Okay,
Yeah, never hurts to talk.
okay. So Jonas is back. Well, I guess that's a good thing. He was a smart,
He's back.
I like Jonas and I thought he had good thoughts.
He's very realistic too as to what,
That would be,
you know, we're not reaching for pie in the sky, we're just trying to solve some problems.
Well, I hope the reasons that he left don't make him leave again, so.
Alright, Ken, community power rates?
Yep, I think you guys all got the
Yep.
email about
Yes, we
what the
did.
rates are. As I said in my email, the town buildings are not on community power.
Yeah.
I did receive a letter from, or an email from our current supplier. And they're reaching out to see if we are interested in extending our,
When is our 6
Contract.
months up?
I think it's September.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be
Yeah.
coming.
So he was gonna give me some rates.
Okay.
Great,
So I'm waiting for the rates,
yeah,
but I just wanna make sure you guys got the community power rates.
Yep.
So when I come back with the other rates, you can compare them.
Okay.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Other new business before we, public new business, I guess I'll say.
No, did we have? Did you say that the next ad commission meeting is scheduled?
For August, I forget the date off the top of my head, it's August, they're not gonna hold one in July, but it will be August, and I think it's the same night as the planning board, so don't quote me, the 12th maybe?
Which is awkward for you as, again, can they understand that you're the rep?
I've got it as the 18th.
18th, okay.
That doesn't conflict with the planning board.
Maybe it was July conflicted, I don't know,
Okay,
there was,
Change it?
let me check. I've seen it, I
And-
could be completely
oh, okay,
figured out wrong committee.
and did they decide where they're going to meet? Or
August
did they
18th.
make a request as to where they could meet? I should say.
Oh, August 18th and September 13th, which would conflict. So that was the conflict was September. I was kind of right.
Okay,
But they're in the meeting house.
in the meeting house?
Let me see. Skip the month of July, August, 7 p.m. in the meeting room. There'll also be an con meeting September 13th. They can discuss those details at the August meeting.
Okay.
So we'll hammer that out in
Okay.
August.
No, I think it's good because somebody had mentioned something about meeting offsite in a barn or something like that. And I would say that it seems appropriate for them to meet here like the other committees. So that's good. That's all.
One real quick one about the fireworks, the police chief worked the road detail, we hired him up there because we typically don't hire a police officer, but we did because they had put the fence up across the front of the
Right.
driveway.
Yep.
And there was some concern about cars pulling in and what was gonna happen, so we hired a police chief. He suggested that we investigate either renting or purchasing at some point a big floodlight. Because of all the people, when the fireworks get over, that walk, he said, the other thing we might think about is parking at the municipal building. Because he said that he didn't know, he was concerned that emergency apparatus could get in and out of the parking out there.
Yeah.
And he was
So-
concerned because cars had parked at the municipal center?
Yes, and they
Oh,
were
okay.
trying to park on the road, and he said, you know, it's a very well-attended event, but he said it could, there's traffic issues. He said particularly at the end when it's dark and people are walking, cause there's no streetlights.
Right.
And he
It's
says, you
very
might consider renting one of the big floodlights,
Yeah.
or buying one at some point, or whatever,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it always seems kind of haphazard when your car's parking in there on both sides and
Mhm.
do they park down the alleyway that goes down to the soccer fields
No,
and
you
stuff, did
can't.
they?
No,
Put
they
it off,
they
it's the
take that
fireworks.
off.
Oh, of course,
It's
because
all
the
taken
fireworks
off,
guys are
yeah.
back there.
I mean, they moved the rope. The rope used to be like the middle of the soccer field. Now it's like on the playground.
Yeah.
So less people can sit up there.
Yeah.
So, just
Alright, something to think about.
something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, maybe the chief could do some investigation and perhaps suggest some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some things.
Is that something?
Well,
that
and
the
suggest
detail fund
some
could pay
sort
for?
of traffic management of some sort too.
That's
Could
something.
be.
Yeah, okay.
Could be.
What did you ask,
Yeah.
Kyle?
If that's what we could use that detail fund for?
Oh, yeah,
The
the
special
revolving
detail.
detail,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if that,
Yeah.
I don't know, we'd have to look into it. I
You
Yeah.
have like the people
might
who
be able
park
to.
planes with the orange cones,
Yeah.
like directing traffic.
Right.
cause they're just
Well,
talking one of those two-wheel generator driven,
That-
you see them on the
that-
highway at night.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
probably exactly
Yeah.
what he's suggesting. And certainly, you know, we don't wanna have a pedestrian hit by a car, I think that's his fear.
Yeah,
Um,
Right.
So.
Yeah, and he said some guy had a bunch of the light up bracelets, was dropped them right in the middle of the road. And they were
Yeah.
there's kids trying to pick him up and he was trying to pick him up and it
Yeah.
was
oh
dark.
geez,
Yeah.
yeah, the school, the parking at the, you know, the center was stuffed with cars, and then the whole library parking lot, and then everybody was down, well, Creamery Road, and everybody was down, by the
Very well
museum and
attended event.
everything, yeah,
Yeah.
it was good,
Very
but
popular.
parking
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, actually, quite frankly, we may wanna ask, they park a lot of cars over at Ron and Judy's for the fair.
Yeah.
And it might be worthwhile asking if we can see, you know, maybe we can
Something
have
to think
them
about.
park there and
Yeah.
have no one park at the
Yeah.
municipal center,
Yeah.
or
Shuttle buses.
somehow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thought,
Alright,
anyway,
yeah.
okay. Nobody got hurt this time, so that's good.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a great show.
It
which
was
is-
great.
yeah.
It was surprising how many people I think showed up considering every major city around us except for Manchester and the fireworks the same
Yeah.
night.
I think Canterbury, though, we've got a great reputation for the fireworks are second to none. They really do an amazing job every year.
Well, it's also easy in, easy out,
Hmm.
really, except for
Yeah.
crazy traffic, but.
All right, anything else before we adjourn into executive session?
we gotta do the septic joint use.
Oh, that's right, thank you. I forgot we were coming back to that.
Alright,
So I sent an email with a bunch of updates.
Yep.
And one of them was the joint use agreement. After the ZBA hearing, I did some research with DES and Food Protection Division of Health and Human Services. I think there's some things that we need to clarify, again, based on the ZBA hearing and some other information I got. One is how many bedrooms are actually in the apartment.
Yep.
The agreement said 2. The LLC told the ZBA 1. Some information that came up at the ZBA hearing, as well as I got later from a septic designer, was that we really should require separate meter readings for the apartment and the store, not just total gallons used. DS regulations specify average daily use needs to be calculated using only days the occupancies are in use. So that would change how we determine what the average daily use is.
so do you have to keep track of how many, like if the apartment residents go on vacation for 2 weeks, you have to keep track of that?
No, because the apartments are done at 300 gallons a day. And that is different than commercial.
Oh, okay.
Commercial would be the store, the town office, and the parish house.
So only days that occupancies are in use, so like on Sunday when the post office is closed, that's different, or but the store is open,
The store is open, yeah.
supposedly,
Yeah.
so.
But like, for us, it would be when the town office is closed, so Saturday
okay.
and Sunday.
Alright, alright.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
If the daycare was closed for vacation, we'd have to take those days out of it.
Well, they're also closed Sundays, anyway.
And then same
Yeah,
thing,
okay.
I don't know, you know, what their summer schedule is if they close for any time during
Okay.
summer.
Oh, that's,
If the apartment was vacated, if there was no one living there, then that would make a difference.
Okay.
The usage would go down, but if we were getting separate meter readings, really wouldn't,
Right,
Be a
we
problem.
should see that.
okay.
but we should get separate meter readings.
Okay.
Because one's a commercial and one's a residential.
Right.
So that was the suggestion. Again, DES uses a peaking factor. And again, this was brought up at the ZBA hearing. For restaurants, it ranges from 1 to 3. The designer I spoke to suggested anywhere from 2 to 2.5 peaking factor. The pump schedule for the cafe store should be released annually, potentially more often based on the inspection report by the pumping company. They've told us that they do it every year anyway, so we should probably write that into the agreement. Determine if there was actually a grease trap. There was a mention of a grease trap. Is there a grease trap? Is there not? And a grease trap is technically a separate tank that the other waste doesn't go into. It's only the kitchen waste that goes into it, before it goes into the regular septic tank.
I'd like to go back and look at that part of the ZBA video too, cause I think Kevin went on quite a bit about just defining what that was,
Correct,
so.
yep,
Is it different than the grease trap that you use if you're like frying food? I don't know.
So it
Grease trap
is.
For a restaurant is essentially a box, depending
Yeah.
on the size of the box, it comes off your cleaning sink. And then it goes to your box, then it goes to your septic or your water, sewer, whatever it is. It separates those
Yeah,
liquids out right away, it doesn't go into the system and then.
It sounded to me like there was a septic tank, and then they put in a new septic tank when we put in the system up here, and everything goes into the old septic tank, and then it goes on over into the new tank with the pump station, and then gets pumped up. So technically, that's not a grease trap. I don't know if that's the case or not. I was a little confused on what they were saying, but I think that needs to get clarified.
yes,
Um,
precisely.
And then, I think, as I put in number 6, the town should get more details on what the cafe store is actually providing. One of the things the designer I spoke to said that if they're selling soft serve ice cream with dipping stations, that should be, clarified, because the waste from those is one of the worst things you can put into a septic system. Because the cream and whatever else is, the cleaning of that, is a real, I guess, a heavy, what they term heavy use, and I think, some of the information they talk to, the DS talks about is heavy commercial use versus light commercial use, and that would be,
That's heavy.
considered heavy commercial.
Huh, interesting.
There is also some information that I printed out for, peak flow, daily use versus average daily use. And basically it says,
Thank you.
there's a misconception that the leach field is designed to handle a peak flow of 1,000 gallons a day. Doesn't mean the leach bed is designed to receive the peak flow every day. And it goes on, it says, if you did it, then it's gonna saturate the leach bed in a shorter amount of time and the bed's gonna fail. So just because the design of the
Yeah.
system up here is designed for 900 gallons a day, that does not mean we should be putting 900 gallons a day in there.
Got it.
And so we should take that into consideration. On the back side of that, I guess I just did that single side, I'm sorry, yep. And then one of the other things was the, hydraulically overloading a leach field or allowing the solids or fat, oil, and grease to be pumped in the system will reduce the life of the leach bed, of the leach field. So, the fats, oil, and grease, we should specify that under unacceptable waste also in our joint use agreement.
Question for me, they're supposed to be getting reports from, the companies that are pumping the tanks out
Correct.
currently. Do we see those?
No, we haven't,
Okay, so we should,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, and we haven't. They did send us copies of the invoice.
Yeah.
That from the septic company.
Yeah.
But there was no inspection report or anything with it. And then the other question I had was that, and I don't know if this is a question for you guys or. I guess it is, because I guess it would fall under code enforcement, but I don't know. I was provided a copy of the provisional license that they received from the state of New Hampshire. And it says counter/takeout, 27 transients and 7-seat coffee shop, paper service only. And they did contact the DES for an updated septic, to let them know that they were updating their, approval. But it says that the state says this approval is for an expansion of use to add a 7-seat coffee shop, paper service only to the country store, based on metered flows, with additional flow generated. So again, 7 seats, but they told the ZBA 16.
Right.
So
And that's probably what's in there now.
I don't know, I haven't been in there since they've reopened.
Yeah.
But I think, we need to get some clarification on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And this might be kind of a moot point, but as the select board, what is our jurisdiction over this since it's an active ZBA hearing?
So
our main
as
concern now
far
should be
as the
septic, right?
zoning goes. Well, they don't have a restaurant license and they're not operating as a restaurant, to the best of my knowledge. But as far as, I guess as far as that provisional license, I don't know if you want me to follow up at all on that, if you think we should try and follow up on it. The updated septic design, because it affects our septic system, says 7 seats, but they actually have 16 seats, so that's not correct. So I think they should, at the minimum, they should reapply to the state for an updated septic to tell them that they have 16 seats, not 7.
Well, the point of the whole, working through the septic agreement was to bring clarity and a starting point for going forward. And if the starting point already has 2 different set of numbers, where are we starting from? So,
And our joint use agreement says 16 seats too.
Right.
so, but that's just us between ourselves with no knowledge of what the state was saying, correct? And now the state has weighed in? It appears.
The state, I talked to the people at the state and they said they only put on here what they get on the application.
And did they say when they got that application? Because you started talking septic, what, 2 months ago?
Roughly.
Yeah.
The approval date is June 13th. I don't know when the application was sent in. This is the approval.
Yeah, 'cause I guess what I'm getting at is if our role as a select board, we should just be focused on the septic.
Yep.
Right, cause we're not judge and jury in this, it's an active zoning
Right.
board case,
Mm,
so
agreed.
in the sense of
Yeah.
not trying to muddy the waters, overstep
No.
or insight, I think we should just focus solely on the septic agreement. And what we need to change or update based on what happened last week.
But if somebody is coming in, handing us a permit to say, here is our permit for doing this into your septic, and the numbers don't match, we should at least be able to ask for the proper information.
Oh,
That's
for
not-
sure, for
That's
sure.
not,
But I mean, we shouldn't, I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong in thinking this, but I don't personally care if they say 16 when it's approved for 7, it's 7, and that's the building
It's a
inspector,
ZBA.
that's not.
well, no,
You know
that's what I
mean?
meant,
Like,
but we can say, I think we need to have this clear.
well, I totally agree, but I just think in the wake of the last week and a half, our task is X, Y,
Yeah.
and Z, and that's all we focus on,
Agreed.
you know,
Yeah.
that just simplifies everything for
No, we're
everybody.
not enforcement, but we can,
Yeah.
asking for the proper details, I think
Yeah.
is definitely within our purview.
I think we definitely need to reassess the septic and sort of get the ducks in a row for that, and then go from there and whatever the ZBA decides or moves forward on is.
Yeah, no, that's their job, so.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Does anybody know, does the ZBA get that permit? Do they know? I guess is,
I don't know.
Unless they add it, in my experience on the ZBA, unless the applicant puts it on their application and submits it,
yeah,
the ZBA tends to not see, I mean, you're welcome to come in as a ZBA member and ask for information.
right,
But generally, they don't,
yeah,
unless they present it day of.
yeah. I mean, I certainly agree with you. I think we have to be careful to stay in our lane, which is the septic agreement. And let the ZBA handle the ZBA's business. I think that's only right.
So if that permit for 7 seats versus 17 or whatever is something the ZBA should know about, how do they get it?
Well, I mean, we'll have the permit, I'm sure we could send it to Jim, and if Jim feels it's pertinent to bring to the hearing, isn't it, I mean, it's public information now, right, it's in the record.
Yeah.
So it's,
It's supposed to be posted in their building.
so that's pertinent, I mean, it can definitely go to Jim at the ZBA, and if he wants to make it to the members, he's more than welcome to share it, I would assume, if I'm right, Cal? Or the land use administrator can send it out as a supplemental information?
ZBA is tricky because of the hearing, this quasi judicial part of it.
Mm.
But the thing is, the town is in a butter, so the town has the ability to submit any comments or any information.
Okay.
So
But who would be the responsible party for that? Would Ken represent the town, or does Scott go as the chair of the select board?
They're both,
probably,
But I'm saying, who
No, no,
speaks
no,
on behalf of the
right.
town, like.
I mean, probably either or even me from the land use email, like it, cause if we're just submitting like, here's this document that you should have at your hearing, like you don't have to be there and make an argument, you can just say like,
It's
here's
information.
here's information. And
so if you make a copy of it and put it in the ZBA mailbox and say, Jim, there's information for your next hearing, is that sufficient? Or is that?
Yeah.
The way one might do it,
I mean, I would,
scan it? Or,
yeah, I could make sure that it gets to them, and Jim would be in charge of, because we have had it before where people submit letters ahead of time, or letters plus supporting documentation for their letters,
Yeah.
and then the chair reads it out.
Yeah.
On behalf of the person, the abutter who couldn't be there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that's all precisely what they were talking about, so. It seems like they should know, I would think.
Well, also, can't you appeal a ZBA decision to the select board?
Yeah,
So it's
yes,
muddy waters.
Yeah.
But as Cal said, the town isn't a butter,
Right.
so you get to submit any kind of, you get to talk at a hearing.
And
Okay.
I mean, the ZBA hearing is structured as those opposed and those in favor, but we still have had people attend and be like, I'm not in favor or opposed, I just have questions or I just
Right.
have a comment.
right,
So like the town could say not opposed or in favor, just this is
information.
information.
Now, would we try to get the septic agreement hammered out as soon as possible, or is that gonna be contingent upon the zoning?
I guess I would suggest at least notifying the LLC, they have some.
Yeah.
That at least either the bullet points that I put in or something, you wanna discuss them to meet to discuss them.
I say yes.
Yeah.
And
I would agree.
I guess as a courtesy, do we wanna at least have another meeting with the church? So that they're aware that a couple of the changes, I guess maybe is a good way of saying it, do affect them.
Yes.
I don't think that we need to, renegotiate anything with them.
No.
But I think that they would appreciate having all the information.
Well, if nothing else, they're party to the agreement, and if the agreement has not been
Right.
like filed, for certain reasons, they should know.
Yeah,
Does the flow rates, as we now know them, will that change the daycare's gallons? If that makes sense? Because I know when Gary had brought up, multipliers, and I'm not savvy with the septic stuff, but does that have any impact on the churches or the daycare?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
The only thing I think the only thing that's gonna change is if we do the calculations based only on open or operating days, that's going to increase the daily average.
Right, okay. So
Because
it'll help
we're actually reducing the amount of days, so we're gonna say instead of whatever, 200 gallons a day for the last month, it's gonna be 300 gallons a day, because they're actually open, they're only open.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I
So it's
see.
gonna actually boost the average daily use. And I don't know, I'm not a septic designer, I don't know how that, I guess, the day of rest affects the septic system. Well, other than what I gave you for information, as far as that the septic system does need
Right.
to rest.
Actually, where did this come from, Ken?
That was a designer that I spoke to.
Okay,
Yeah, cause I guess the big thing is if we're gonna look at the agreement, I would hate to not, I don't wanna say leave the church out, but overlook something. and
No,
then,
I-
oh,
right.
man, we should have
You're
just
right,
taken it
well,
once.
Yeah.
because they're a party to the,
Yeah.
to the.
they definitely should be.
Agreement,
I think everybody
so they
just
should be
wants-
aware of any negotiations or anything.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I meant like if the gallons changed or it changed there, I
Oh,
would hate to overlook
sure.
it by accident.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no, we
yeah.
messed up on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Alright, so what action do we need to take tonight?
I guess, tell me that you want me to contact the LLC and the church to, discuss the joint use agreement that, based on information that we've received through the ZBA hearing and the septic designer, that there are some
Further
questions.
Yeah. Yes for me,
And points of clarity, yes for me,
Yeah.
Okay,
please.
and so it's unanimous. And I guess, Calvin, the only, we're in summer, and I'm not sure everybody's gonna be available on short notice to meet and hammer out some of these details, so, speaking certainly for me, and I think for Ken, we would like to get this settled quickly, right, but,
And you both have been doing the yeoman's work of meeting with the parties, and it seems like that should continue. If-
yeah, it certainly makes sense.
I think it's definitely in our best advantage to rectify this as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I think for everybody's sake.
Right.
well, and again, they can't figure out how they're organizing their business until they get all the moving pieces
Yeah.
figured out, and that's unfair too. So,
alright,
clarity on all sides and a little bit of as fast as we can would probably be helpful.
Okay.
alright,
Alright, thank you for the extra legwork to look this all up.
Yeah, it's turned into a lot of legwork.
Mm.
Alright, do we need anything else before,
no, I think we just need to go into non-public session.
alright. Cal, what's the,
So you've got two different
yes,
topics, so we could do. And it's gonna be for the same RSA number,
Okay.
because it's matters that would likely adversely affect the reputation of a person other
Yep.
than a member of this board.
okay,
And just one of them is Jesse Carl versus Town of Canterbury, and the other is a zoning and DES complaint,
Yep.
so
okay,
I think you can make one motion.
Yep. alright, thank you. Alright, so I will make a motion that we adjourn into executive session for the purposes under RSA 91A3 2C. Matters which if discussed in public would likely adversely affect the reputation of any person other than a member of this board. Looking for a second.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye?
thank you, Edgar.